Every now and then, a comment drops on a video that is so relatable that it deserves its own video. And that's what we're doing today. Strandloper has left a comment saying that they have officially decided to return to Linux after 20 years away. And they just want some guidance on some opinions on where they should return to and what the options are. So I'm going to try and answer those today. So they have asked a couple of questions that Strandloper has asked. Is openSUSE the right place to go? They were on openSUSE 5.2 originally. We're on 16 now. And they've seen that there's Tumbleweed, Slowroll, KDE, Gnome. Where should they be heading? So I've got experience in all of these. So I thought, hey, rather than just write a big long reply in the comment section, I'll just reply to you directly. So here it is. Here is the video. Let's see if we can help you on your journey back to Linux. Welcome back. Good to have you. So what's our starting point here? So you are clearly you're used to Linux. You understand the intricacies of Linux, at least. Whether you're up to date or not is a different matter, but that doesn't matter. So you're aware of Linux and how it works. You used it for years. That's great. I've just made some notes here. That's why I keep looking to this side, so I don't forget what I'm talking about. You're frustrated with Windows 11. Fair enough. You want to make the move to Linux, but you want a stable but up-to-date system that you can continue to develop on. Great. So that's what we're looking for today. And you mentioned about Linux Mint, and you were debating the Linux Mint sort of thing. But in your comment, I agree with you. Linux Mint can be 2 to 4 years behind in software. It's insane. They're having this problem a minute with the GNOME calendar, where the one that Mint is shipping in their latest release is 2 years out of date, out of life. It's not even supported anymore. So that's my problem with Linux Mint. It always has been, and that's why I prefer the rolling release type distributions now, which have always brought their own dangers until now, of course. But we'll get to that. So yeah, I agree. I would avoid Linux Mint. Again, it's great for just getting started, but I think most people will quickly outgrow Mint. As good as it is, it's not. I think long term, there's way better options for you. So your next question: Tumbleweed or Slowroll? So in the openSUSE world, or you've got stable, you've got Leap as well, of course. So starting with Leap, Leap is your standard release. It's fixed. It's got a lifespan. It'll be tested to hell. So it will be secure. It will be so rock solid. It's unbelievable. But it will be dated. And you will have to reinstall eventually once it gets out of date. So for me, that's why I don't tend to install Leap. And with the sort of integration of Snapper, I don't think there's a real need for Leap anymore. Even unless you want something rock solid, I don't think Leap is needed anymore, to be honest. So that leaves us with Slowroll and Tumbleweed. So Tumbleweed is a pure rolling release. It gets the fastest updates. It is tested through openQA, which is its superpower. That is the thing that is absolutely. That's why I love openSUSE so much. Is openQA. There will be another video coming on the channel talking about openQA and the distributions that use it. There's hardly any. So openSUSE created openQA, and they use it to test all the packages that go through Tumbleweed and Slowroll. So that's important. But those updates come out as they come out. So you could be updating at least once a day with Tumbleweed. There might be a couple of times a day. So if you're on your PC all the time and you like tinkering and you want the latest software all the time, Tumbleweed's the one. I'll get back to why it's not such as dangerous as it sounds in a minute. Slowroll, however, is basically Tumbleweed, but what they do is they save up all the updates for you for the month and just send them out to you once a month. So you're getting the same updates, but you're just a few weeks behind, and they're just being one big chunk. So it depends how you work. It depends how often you're on your PC. If you don't want, updates happening while you're doing stuff, while you're in the middle of a project, you update stuff, something changes. So if that's a risk to you, then Slowroll's your answer. Slowroll is a great option. It gives you a little bit more stability because it's only updates once a month, but you're still getting the latest software very quickly. And again, that is all tested through openQA, which is if you don't know, I don't know if you know, it's an automated quality assurance system. So the packages go through OpenQA. They are trained to, it's an automated process. They are trained to just check all the packages, make sure everything works and what doesn't work and what gets rejected. And if it passes OpenQA, then it goes through to the next stage. Fantastic system. And that's why openSUSE is so reliable now. Incredible system. So there's your two options. So Slowroll, great option. Tumbleweed, great. They're both great options, to be honest. You can't really go wrong either of those. Now, your other choice, you said KDE or Gnome, or Gnome, however you want to pronounce it. I mean, if you've come from KDE, do you know what? I was always a Gnome user, always. Until it started, it feels like you're running an application now, Gnome, to me. It's very keyboard shortcut heavy. And it's all very like single, it feels very like single focused, single task focused. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you like just one task on the screen, keyboard shortcut to switch screens to the next one, great. It feels a bit more like a mobile desktop to me, like a tablet desktop. I don't really like it myself. That's just my own personal opinion. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's a bit simpler. It's not as customizable. Whereas, as you know, KDE Plasma 6, you can customize. You can make it look almost like Gnome anyway. You can change it to be whatever you want, KDE. It's fantastic now. If you haven't used it for 20 years, it has vastly changed. It's not as resource heavy anymore. It's quicker. You can make so many customizations. I don't know why you'd want to pick Gnome over KDE unless you just like the style more, to be honest. And KDE feels like a traditional desktop, or you can put a bar on the bottom with a bar across the top. You can make it look however you want. You can put a dock at the bottom if you want. Whereas, like I said, Gnome it is a unique workflow. It's keyboard centric. It's activity based. It depends on what you're focused on. But there's your options, really. That's up to you. Only you can decide that. There's no wrong answer. And the good thing is, openSUSE supports both fantastically. So you can use whatever you want. They work fantastically either way. So it doesn't really matter. And you can always change if you don't like it. Just make sure you remove the old stuff first. Otherwise, it gets a bit weird. So you also mentioned that the reason why you left was availability of software, and like photo editing and processing was a problem back in 2005. And while I can't really speak much on that, I've got a few notes here that Linux now is, there's better alternatives now. You've got, I know, sure you know about all. You've got Darktable, Raw Therapy. You've got proper dedicated programs now to deal with photo editing and processing. Color management and display technology in Linux is way better now. The leaps it's made in the last 20 years will shock you how smooth it is now. So that's not really a problem for you. But again, these are available on any desktop you want, or any distribution you want, really. Obviously, if you pick a more rolling release, you're going to get the latest software, so you've got a better chance of getting the latest version of Darktable. Well, if you do openSUSE, you're going to have the latest Darktable. If you do Mint, you're going to have Darktable from whenever they fancied putting it in. It could be a year, 2 years old. So again, another win for openSUSE there. So before I give you my final recommendation, I do want to touch on why this doesn't matter so much on openSUSE. You can't really go wrong, which is why I love openSUSE so much. And that is the power of Snapper. Now, Snapper comes pre-installed on openSUSE and pre-configured. It's already running when you set it up. And Snapper is just a rollback feature. And you can install this on any system. Again, any Linux system can have Snapper, but it's built into the installation of openSUSE, and it's already running when you install it. And it just takes snapshots of your system. You can do it manually. You can set it up to do automatic ones. And every time you do a big update, you just start a new Snapper session. You just go start, add new snap, and it creates it for you. And then if anything goes wrong, there's a video on my channel. You probably saw it. I think this is where you might have seen it. You can just roll straight back. You boot back, choose an old snap, and go straight back in again. Wonderful. So no matter what you choose, you can't really go wrong, is what I'm saying. So in conclusion, Strandloper, for you, I would choose Slowroll. Pair that with KDE and you're laughing. That is my recommendation. I don't think you'll have any issues there whatsoever. You'll really enjoy it. Now, one tip you must do if you're using Tumbleweed or Slowroll, you must not use the desktop KDE updater. It will break it eventually because that only updates the system individually. It's hard to explain. It's a bit weird. You must use zipper DUP, sudo zipper DUP. That is your upgrade. That is your updates. You must use that in the terminal. Otherwise, you will just break it. So, to be honest, I recommend people remove the updates available notification in the bottom right. Get rid of that and just remember to do it manually once a month. Every now and again, just check. Sudo zipper DUP. Must do that. It'd be lovely if they can make if someone can make a little widget or a little desktop notification for the DUP updates. That'd be great. But at the minute, there isn't. You've got to do it manually. So if you disagree or agree with me, please let me know in the comments. Let Strandloper know your thoughts on this and whether you think I'm talking absolute nonsense or I'm spot on. Hope this helped. And if you've got any more questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.